fucking ashamed of your fucking scum. They're fucking pigs! Patriarchy. Fucking rape apologist, incest supporting, woman hating fucking scum. Woman hater! Patriarchy, fuckface!
You and your sons and your everybody and your friends, bunch of fucking men.
Fucking scum!
This is what men's rights look like! This is what men's rights look like! This is what men's rights look like!
Feminist theory is not the Bible. It is not the Declaration of Independence. It is not the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
You're damn right we target feminist ideology. Feminist ideology teaches nothing but hate and contempt for men and boys.
Feminism must be like a psychedelic drug. I swear to God, because nothing they say is remotely close to reality.
We're going to continue to call feminists out on their hate and bigotry, and we really don't give a damn if they like it or not.
Well, you know what, feminism? If you don't like the rule of law, then don't be part of society. Go somewhere else.
Blue Collar Red Pill, with your host, the One Dan Army Dan Aarons, and Jack Nightrunner Barnes.
Hello and welcome back to Blue Collar Red Pill Radio. All of us here believe that rape is a serious issue that needs discussing. We need answers, we need solutions. But what we don't need is ideological driven bigots mucking up the works. Take, for example, P.A.R.C, People Against Rape Culture. Now let me give you a little sample of who exactly we're talking about. The president, Christine Gordon, has said, People Against Rape Culture envisions a world in which rape, sexual abuse, sexual assault are no longer condoned and encouraged in our collective culture. Yeah. Ashley Medley, Secretary and Treasurer, said, I need P.A.R.C because I can't live in a society where sexual violence is accepted, normal, or condoned. We need to have a serious discussion about rape. But we don't need this bullshit. Danny boy, are you there?
I am, Jack. I am calling from above, just north of you there, in the Great White North. We still got snow on the ground, eh? You know that up here in Canada? Right in Toronto, we got snow on the ground, and we live in a rape culture.
I was watching Eric Duckman, his videos from Men's Rights Edmonton, where he went and visited the Slut Walk. Have you seen those videos yet, Danny?
I have had the good pleasure of watching those videos. Hats off to you guys there out at Men's Rights Edmonton.
Absolutely.
Well done.
Absolutely. Did you notice the blonde in those videos? Oh my God, she was hot. Beautiful blonde baby doll wearing nothing but a bra up top. Nice, beautiful D cups. Oh, wait a minute. I just engaged in rape culture. I just thought a woman's breasts were beautiful and attractive. I just dehumanized her. When you do that, you automatically you do not consider her human anymore. And when you do that to a woman, that's a part of rape culture. And rape culture means that you condone, encourage, and support rape.
But it's just fine for them to say that, holy hell, James Huff has the most awesome dick bulge ever.
Well, you know what? I'm kind of a little confused here. Now, I know I might be an old, toothless old coot there, who, hats off to Toothless in the chat room there. I might just have to tase myself and call for backup after this thought. But this old Toothless coot, last time I had sex, and what I remember about sex, it's usually done between two humans and not an inanimate object or an object in a human. But I have seen lots of videos with women using inanimate objects. They're usually called bobs. Battery-operated boyfriends.
So that's what you guys call them up there?
Is that rape culture?
No, it's not, because it's a woman doing it. And when a woman does it, it's okay. So, yeah. But these people at PARC, P.A.R.C., which stands for People Against Rape Culture. Okay. You want to go through the list of the officers at this organization, Danny?
The hit list of the organization themselves. Okay, let me get who we are. All right, we have founder and president Christine Gordon. Christine has been an educator for over 10 years in various capacities. She holds a BFA in theater and an MA in sociology. So a BFA, a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater, and a Master of Arts in Sociology. So she can act really good about rape, hysteria. I mean, culture. Sorry. Or did I say hysteria there? No, I did not. Anyways, and she's working towards doula certification. Oh my God, she was going to be a doula. Guys out there, don't be caught a doula short.
Are you there, Danny, or did we lose you?
I'm here. You guys hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you just fine. I've been listening to you.
Okay. All right, she's working for doula certification. Guys, don't be caught a day late and a doula short. After you do ma, get a doula. Okay? I guess that's what she's promoting. Anyways, she's going through her doula certification at Dona. Don't be late on the doula. I'm telling you, she's warning you, or it might be rape culture. International. Anyways, her theater background informs her methods of engaging learners to create an interesting and compelling interactive learning environment. Her passion is social justice, primarily sexuality and sexual reproductive health. She firmly believes social justice and sexuality, sexual health are intertwined. This intersection is what compelled her to begin PARC, with the understanding that we need to increase education around basic issues of gender stereotypes, respect, and consent. She is very excited to see what this diverse and talented team will create and accomplish. Let's see, gender stereotypes. Wouldn't that be like the CDC definition of rape only involving penetration and not envelopment? Shouldn't the definition of rape just be forced sex? I don't know there, Christine. Maybe you could act that out for us. Jack, your turn. Uh-oh. I think we might have lost Jack.
Oh, no. Hold on. Let me check.
All right. Are we there?
Oh, yeah. I hear you.
Sorry, I'm having a little technical difficulties on my end. I don't plan to go into such depth with these people as far as their backgrounds. You can go over to their website, People Against Rape Culture, and check them out. But the vice president is Elizabeth Puloka, Puloka. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The secretary and treasurer, who is Ashley Medley, she's the one that said, I need PARC because I can't live in a society where sexual violence is acceptable, normal, or condoned. Yeah. Educator Bianca Torres, Tores, and contributor Charlotte Stasio. Okay. Now, this group was started as a response to Steubenville. Now, you guys all remember how everyone was up in arms and outraged over what happened at Steubenville. Yet, they believe that public outrage, that just didn't happen, that we all accepted it as something normal and we went on, right? Yeah. Okay, they're located in the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., and, they want money. They want your hard-earned money. They want grants. They want funding. Why? Well, they just want to educate school children about rape culture. You know, that mythical flying spaghetti monster that the rest of us that we know does not exist. What do you think about that, Danny?
Well, yeah, this claim that we live in a rape culture is, absolute falsehood. If anybody knows anything about criminals, they look down upon rapists and child abusers as, the lowest of the low, and they actually are put into protective custody because if they are released into the general population, there could be some very, very serious physical health problems for them, and not nice ones, to say the least. So, even on a criminal level, rape is looked down upon and shunned, and rightfully so. There are some people out there who, make a life of crime through thievery, and I'm not going to condone it, but, they look down upon rapists as the lowest of the low. So, yeah, this rape culture horse crap, yeah, it's a money grab. That's all. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I mean, if we look and they openly admit that they are, well, let's say the president, Christine Gordon, she openly admits that she started this project, this group, this organization, as a response to Steubenville. What happened there? Now, once all of that came to light, once that reached the international media, and everyone found out about it, there was public outrage. Doesn't that in itself disprove that we live in a rape culture? Now, no doubt there was some shit that went on there in Steubenville. But the wider society, as she put it, our collective culture, condones, supports, and encourages rape? No, I don't think so.
Now,
I really don't think so.
They actually, cite some examples of rape culture, okay, surrounding the Steubenville incident. Now, they have quotes from, some of the news sources. CNN says the boys were promising students. Yes, and they were also guilty of a crime. The two have nothing to do with the other. One has nothing to do with the other. One could be, intelligent and a promising student, and one can also be a criminal. That's, one has nothing to do with the other, as far as I'm concerned. Again, NBC News laments the boys had promising football careers. Yes, people can be good athletes and be criminals. They're, unfortunately, that's just the way that, humans can be. Okay, humans, not, men, not women, but humans. And another one is that, they stressed that there was alcohol involved. Well, there has been a lot of theories floating around, and I'm kind of leaning towards them, that we don't necessarily have this rape culture problem, but we have an inebriation problem, where people make piss poor decisions while they're pissed up. Hello, Jack. Are you there?
Yep. Yeah. These people, I can't wrap my head around the idea of them producing material to be used in elementary, junior high, and high schools. I just can't. I mean, it's so stupid. Their ideas, and under normal circumstances, we would just laugh at them and say, well, you've got your right to your opinion and your beliefs. We think it's stupid. We think it's crazy, but you've got your right to believe in whatever you want to believe in. But I cannot sit back and keep quiet while they try to push this stuff down the throats of impressionable school children. I just can't. I can't do it. Imagine what this will cause. The distrust of boys simply because they're boys. The little girls living in constant fear that they're going to be next. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. What it is child abuse. Let's just call it what it is. It is psychological abuse of children.
Well, that's depending on how low they want to go. that little saying there kind of really kind of applies to feminism right there. How low do they want to go? I hear that they want to get into primary school, but maybe not this group, but other feminist groups. They have unpaid internships available to people if they so choose to be, kind of washed in the victimhood blanket, and you wander around through life with blinders on. What reality is going on out there? Also, really at the teenage level where sex and sexuality is really an exploratory thing. We are going to start looking at traumatizing both sexes for I'm going to say as long as they are at the same age kind of level there within a couple of years, we're going to expose both sexes to courtroom drama and trauma. Actually, courtroom trauma for the boys, because we know how it's going to be laid out.
Yep. I've read their entire blog, every article on their blog. In their blog, they never mention male victims of rape. Not once. Not once do they mention male victims of rape. Now, in their YouTube video, they do. And other places, they mention them casually in passing, right? Just, oh, and by the way, men are victims too, and then go back to the women. But one thing they never do, never, I have not seen this on any of their literature, they never mention female perpetrators. And of course, we know they're feminists, so obviously the idea that women can possibly commit rape is something they want kept quiet, kept secret, kept in the closet, kept swept under the rug. Even though some of these female rapists also rape women. They rape men, they rape boys, and they rape women. But they don't want society to know about that.
Jack, I'm going to have to stop you there. I'm going to have to request you tase yourself and call for backup. You are talking about women raping. And I'm afraid you might actually delve into lesbian rape.
Well, it happens. And more women are more and more lesbians are starting to speak up about it. Well, not just lesbians, but women in general, because there's been instances, obviously, of women who have been raped by the women who were not lesbians. That happens. But yeah, rape is not a gendered issue, but these people want to paint it as a gendered issue, and they're wanting to teach that it is a gendered issue to school children. So, anyway, Danny, would you like to delve into their articles? I believe we have a few picked out there to discuss.
Oh, let me see. What have we got here to pick? What ones did we choose upon? The
quote here. Perhaps that is because all of these journalists. Now, this is a quote from one of their articles on their blog. It's a response to James Taranto and a woman with the last name Parker. I can't remember her first name. They wrote articles in mainstream publications basically calling out this whole idea of rape culture. Okay, and the quote goes like this. Perhaps that it is because all these journalists not mentioning wrongful accusations are correct in their understanding that false rape claims are too negligible to be worth mentioning much. Yeah, just because it's rare, which that's arguable, just because it's rare doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about it. It's a problem. Men's lives are being destroyed because of this. And you want to we don't need to talk about that because it doesn't happen very often. Well, again, we can argue about how often it happens, but that's beside the point. The fact of the matter is it does happen, and we need to talk about it and discuss it and work on a solution to the problem instead of just sweeping it under the rug. Go ahead, Danny.
Oh, Jack, more than just men's lives are being destroyed by this. Feminist lives are being destroyed by this. Don't you know? Judith Grossman's son was falsely accused. Ardent feminist. Yeah, so feminism, it's coming around to bite you in the ass now. Yeah. You know what? Okay, so back to her quote. You know what else is exhausting? A history of being marginalized to a place of so little social and cultural value as to constantly have to fight to be heard, believed, and not violated. Gee, I wonder what happened at Queen's University. One of their philosophy professors kind of, marginalized some victims there. Some incarcerated victims, some victims who really have no ability to give meaningful consent. I wonder how that squares up with her marginalization, and how male victims of rape are told they must have enjoyed it. he was lucky he got seduced. Yeah, how's that for marginalization there, honey? And to be believed. Yeah, sure you were raped by a woman. Yeah, I've never heard, male victims never hear that one before. Okay. Back to her quote, to survey the bleak and uneven landscape of rape and come away suggesting that more fairness towards those likely to be at fault while wagging our fingers at the victims is more than a waste of our time. It is further violence against those already vulnerable and violated. I'm sorry, crimes are horrible things. That's why they're called crimes. But we must be absolutely sure and enforce beyond a reasonable doubt be employed when deciding whether deciding a person's guilt or innocence. Society demands that for every other crime, and rape is no different.
Yep.
Jack?
And going back to that, a history of being marginalized to a place of so little social and cultural value as to constantly have to fight to be heard, believed, and not violated. This is patriarchy theory. This is the foundation of all of feminism. This is hate. This is bigotry, and it's bullshit. It never happened. But these people believe it, and they want our money so they can teach this to school children. No, not if I have anything to say about it. But talking what you were talking about there, to survey the bleak and uneven, all of that, I can't get where these feminists get this idea that we shouldn't look at the victim and say, here's what you did wrong. You did wrong. So that you know how to empower yourself and go out into the world and feel confident that you know what to do. You know how to take care of yourself so it doesn't ever happen to you again. That is real empowerment. And the only way these victims can get some sensibility, some sense of their life, some sense of control over themselves and the world around them is by teaching them this is the mistakes that you made. If she actually or he actually made a mistake. And feminists don't want that to happen. They want these victims to be perpetual victims for the rest of their lives. And that is sick. It is sick, twisted, and disgusting. Go ahead, Danny.
No, Jack, it's actually your paragraph next. Your article next, man.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if you wanted to comment on that. I'm sorry. Okay. The next one comes from about false allegations. For that matter, look no further than your own lived experiences of hearing about victims of crime. I can't recall the last time I had a friend or acquaintance say that their wallet or iPhone was stolen, only to have the general feedback be suspicion that the person was lying or gave their iPhone away and later regretted it. They're talking about when we say, this woman, she regretted what she did and then later cries rape, which we know that's happened. It's been proven that's happened. Look at what happened at Occidental College. That is a clear-cut case of exactly what she's trying to pretend doesn't happen. That women never do this, and that we as a society saying that it does happen, that's rape culture. But anyway, moving on. And that's because suspicion of women and children as deceitful scammers out to use their wiles to prey upon innocent men isn't a new thing or a sentiment unique to any one community or population. It's part of the psyche behind the systematized violence against women that underpins rape culture. In other words, believing that women are human beings and that some of these women are not honest. They tell lies, just like any other human being, just like any other group of human beings. That's rape culture. Believing that women are human and not these angelic creatures that can do no wrong is rape culture. And that's bullshit. Go ahead, Danny. Next paragraph's yours. Danny, are you there?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was on mute there. And when we bring up false rape allegations in the context of talking about rape awareness and prevention, we're not doing anything helpful. Rather, we breathe invigorated life into a vicious and intentional ignorance. An ignorance that encourages rape and all but promises to silence victims. I believe that was just the end of your paragraph there, Jack. But, yeah, She says that when we bring up false rape allegations in the context of talking about rape awareness and prevention, let's prevent false rape allegations from going on. We that is a terrible problem that's going on, and I believe it is one of the most overturned cases, convictions, according to the Innocent Project, is rape. And we are talking years and years taking off of humans' lives at the behest of a possibly vindictive woman. There are, again, we have to go back to due diligence beyond a reasonable doubt, and uphold that rule of law. Equal protection and benefit under the rule of law. That's for defendant and complaint and the like. But the next paragraph is, by the time boys are sexual people, we have actually have not had honest, clear messages with them about what consent is. The average guy watches movies, plays video games, and consumes advertising showing women are to be used for sex and sex at the will of men. We are most certainly not being clear with our boys about how to respect women. Let me see here. I'm pretty sure those characters that just use women as sex objects, and they're at there for the use of those men. They call them villains in TVs and movies and such. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but call me crazy. But that's what I see mostly going on in social media there. Maxwell quotes Jacqueline Friedman. What we really despise is the idea of rapists, a terrifying monster lurking in the bushes, waiting to pounce on an innocent girl as she walks by. All right. Friedman says, but actual rapists, men. Well, Friedman again singles out men and ignores women. Even though at her talk, I was trying to get to the point that if oral sex, forced oral sex on a woman is considered, rape when it's a man. How about when it's a woman or something? Or how about forced oral sex on a man? Is that still considered, rape or rapey or whatever? These are questions that Friedman kind of tried to avoid. They were pretty good at that. They were pretty good at that lecture doing that. But anyways, actual rapists, men who are usually known to and often loved by their victims. Men who are sometimes our sports heroes, political leaders, buddies, boyfriends, and fathers. Evidence suggests we don't despise them nearly as much as we should. Let me see here. How about girlfriends, mothers, buddies we can get away with, sure. Political leaders, yeah. Sports heroes, yeah. There has been, I believe a female basketball star and a hockey coach that I know of, a hockey coach out in BC. Apparently she liked her her players a little bit too much, and there were some extracurricular activities that went on there. Of course, she got a slap on the wrist because she seduced them. And again, she singles out men. Jack, how about you take on the next one?
Okay, education is what's needed. By insisting that cultural influences are at play, we do not trivialize the survivor. By naming rape culture, we do not excuse or deflect blame from a rapist. This offers a solution because we, Carolyn Kitchens included, are undoubtedly all after a shared goal of less sexual violence. Some of us, like P.A.R.C, have specific ideas on how to do this. Ideas like education on how to prevent and avoid victim blaming, encouraging bystander intervention, and healthy masculinity. Understanding what is creating this problem helps us find solutions, and understanding what rape culture is it's a hashtag here. Rape culture is a huge part of getting there. Wait a minute. Okay. You cannot fix a problem by starting or by blaming a mythical being or a mythical idea that doesn't exist. you can't fix the problem of rape in our society by blaming it. Oh, we just accept it. That's the problem. When we don't accept it, we don't encourage it, we don't condone it, we don't endorse it. So your solution has no hope of ever working, except, well, unless the reason for you doing this is just to get money. See, you got to realize these women all have degrees in gender studies. At the very least, the founder of this organization.
Jack, isn't that vagenda studies?
Yeah, gender studies, women's studies, vagina studies, whatever. You know, like Dr. T said, I'm going to major in me. I'm going to major in studying people who are like me. Narcissism. Anyway, those degrees have no real use in society. So what feminists have to do once they've graduated, once they've got out of school, they have to make a job for themselves. And what better way than blaming men for something and saying, give me money, I'll fix the problem. And we as society, being the sheeple that we are, we just give it to them. We don't question them when they go to blame men for every little thing that's ever happened to a woman. We don't question it.
I got one question. I do have sort of a question here. She brings up healthy masculinity. Does that mean we get to define healthy femininity?
It's a good question. You know, I believe if we as men started saying, well, look, these are some problems with women that we think we need to discuss and we need to promote healthy femininity, I believe that these women would start crying misogynist, wouldn't they? Oh, wait a minute, we already do that in the men's rights movement, and yes, they do call us misogynists. Don't they?
I'm a little concerned about what's got a... you know what? I'm kind of a little concerned because I see something going on in the room there. I see this this commenter named by the name of Aqueous, and he's going, "Women are bitches." You know what? That's kind of horse crap there, Aqueous. If you want to say feminism is bitch, that's fine. We don't criticize women per se. We criticize an ideology. You want to keep that down and got to skin them first. Women and kittens, come on, Aqueous. What is with that horse shit? I'm calling you out right now.
Oh, so there's a problem in the chat room. We've got someone in there being...
That's cutting it a little too close to the line there, Aqueous. I'm fine with the kittens, down with the patriarchy, but I am not fine with the women issues there.
Yeah, calling all women bitches is not going to cut it. Not around here. Now, if you're just joking, okay, we can take a joke, but yeah, that's you need to let us know that you're just joking. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. I'm going to take the next one, which is real short. These people are big fans of Anita Sarkeesian, and if you guys will remember Anita Sarkeesian, she's the one that started that Kickstarter to get money to make YouTube videos. She got $150,000, and she basically just remade one of her videos and made it just a little bit better. And if I'm not mistaken, she has been accused of using copyrighted material without permission from the creator of said material. So yeah, that's really someone that you want to be ally yourself with, if you're looking for money, right?
Yeah, Jack, sorry. I was a little preoccupied there.
Yeah.
So, are we down to the kidnapping in Nigeria?
Yep, go ahead.
Are we taking a break? Because we're pretty close to halfway.
No, let's go ahead, man. We've got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. Let's go. Let's just roll with it.
Okay. The kidnapping in Nigeria is a symptom of a larger problem worldwide. That problem is the idea that men have an inherent right to women's bodies. You know what? I'm really, really angered at this crap that's going on there with Nigeria. I happily heard the other day that a number of the captives escaped. I'm so glad that their families have their children back. But 59 young boys were burned alive, as I understand it. And those children will never be brought back to their families. That the problem is not that men have an inherent right to women's bodies, is that tyrants don't give a good goddamn who they fuck over to get their power, their money, their gold, whatever, diamonds. These women are dangerous. They're actually going to increase the level of violence against society on the whole. Anyways, that's my own 2 bits on that. But anyways, the idea that men have the right to purchase, consume, and dispose of women's bodies as they see fit. Gee, I wonder what's happening down with those South African holidays that all these rich white women are taking, and in the Caribbean as well. The feminists don't seem to be bitching too much about that. This event is tragic and private, and governmental resources need to be used to get those girls back. But you know what? Let's forget about the young boys that lost their lives, that were burned alive. One of the most horrible forms of death out there. Let's forget about that. Let's only speak up when girls are when girls are at risk here, because they are marginalized so much that they're forgot about when they're barbecued to a crisp and dead. Let's think about that one there. This happens to girls all over the world. Why can't we fight for and protect girls and women across the globe from these harmful patriarchal ideals all the time? Why can't we educate about rape culture and create a culture of consent and healthy sexuality? The reason why we can't do that is because feminists, goddamn, have their rotten horse shit theories going on and only see one side of the coin. They have their feminist gaze that is concentrated on their vagina.
Yeah, I have to throw my 2 cents worth in on this. This whole thing with Boko Haram, or however you pronounce it, and these girls being kidnapped and these boys being burned alive, shot down as they tried to escape and run away, and cut with machetes, just, men chasing them down and cutting them into pieces with machetes and killing them that way. This has nothing to do with gender. It is basically it is over religion, okay? And it really doesn't matter that it's over religion. It's over one group of people wanting to dominate over another group of people, and it's not men over women. It's one religious ideology over another religious ideology. That is what's happening down there. It's not this patriarchal, we're going to oppress women. That has nothing to do with it. But these feminists feel like, hey, let's stand on the bodies of these dead boys. Let's stand on the broken minds of these young girls who obviously have went through psychological trauma at the hands of their captors. I mean, that's just a given, being taken away from their families and their friends, and God knows what's been done to them. Let's use that for our advantage. That's what these feminists are doing, and it's sick. It is absolutely sick. They're using this to make a buck. That is lowest of the low. As a teacher, as one of my teachers in high school used to say, that's lower than whale shit. But anyway, I'm going to go on with the next one.
That sinks pretty deep.
Yeah, that's pretty low. Rape culture as a phrase began as something of a term of art, though is now becoming a familiar part of the common lexicon, in no small part due to the amount of journalism and media coverage dedicated to the topic. No, wrong again, feminist. Rape culture was started to describe what happens to men in prison, where they are raped and everyone laughs about it, everyone makes a joke about it, and the prison officials look the other way because they accept it, they condone it, they support it because it keeps everybody in check, it keeps everybody in line. You got the higher-ups in the prison population keeping the lower prisoners in line through using rape. That's where that came from, and you bitches hijacked it and used it for your own purpose to describe that's how we as a society treat women out here on the outside of prisons, and it's not true. That's where rape culture came from. The term rape culture came from. You want to take the next one, Danny?
Oh, I just want to point out that they have turned it into an art. They have turned money making from it into an art.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to go on here. I enjoy most that in the thick of absolute horrific rates of and manifestations of rape, and in an accompanying culture that trivializes, naturalizes, and excuses rape. Pretty soon, it became again. Nowhere in our culture does it excuse rape against women. Against guys, yes, it is trivialized. There is a YouTube video out there. Rape is hilarious. Seriously, it is out there, and this gentleman puts on a wonderful performance about how rape culture truly exists. It just doesn't exist in the feminist theory of it doesn't exist.
Yeah, there again, we see that these people believe in something that doesn't exist. Their perception of reality is so screwed up, but yet they want to teach this screwed up version of reality to school children. All right, I'm going to go on with the next one. Pretty soon it became clear, and I began to realize that gender-based sexual violence, as it antecedents and promoters engaged me and more than any other endeavor. Wait a minute, and it's antecedents and promoters? First off, rape is not a gender issue. Okay? Men and women get raped, and they don't get raped simply because they're men or simply because they're women. It's something that people do to people. Okay? We've got scientific studies to back this up. You have absolutely butt kiss to back up what you're saying.
Oh, they have Mary Koss to prove what they're saying. Mary Koss, I told you were raped.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I shouldn't have said butt kiss. I should have said bullshit to back up. You have bullshit to back up what you're saying. But anyway, go ahead, Dan.
Rape apologists and people who use their platforms of power, be they media or legislative, to reinforce and reproduce structures and practices that promote a culture that sees rape as inevitable and natural and something that victims have to be responsible for. Yeah, I guess, you know what? I guess rape is inevitable. I believe that I'm a victim of rape, yes. The egg that I was conceived from was penetrated by the sperm. So, yes, we're all victims of rape culture. Rape is inevitable. The sperm will inevitably rape the egg and penetrate it. I'm sorry, Jack, you were raped. Did you know that? James, you too.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm so violated by my existence.
Oh, damn it, that's good.
Yes, folks, it's rape at a microscopic level through the feminist lens.
Yeah, I don't remember the egg that I came from. I don't remember, my first cell saying, giving permission for that sperm to come in. I don't remember, giving consent. So yeah, it's all rape. But yeah, setting the jokes aside, rape is inevitable and natural. No one believes that. No one, well, except for these feminists. They believe that we believe it. And it's just insane. But anyway, moving on. Sexual violence is the gravest and most physical and entrenched way to dehumanize an individual, and our culture aids this attitude of women as objects. Well, now, I could argue that, we could have an argue over which is the gravest and most physically entrenched way to dehumanize an individual. But setting that aside for the moment, our culture aids seeing women as objects?
Which, you want to have that age-old argument? which raped first, the sperm or the egg? I mean, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Yeah, that is. Yeah.
But Danny, do you believe that we as a culture see women as objects? We protect women more than we protect men. We go above and beyond for women that we don't do for men, but yet we see them as objects. Yeah, right.
I think society, to a certain degree, sees both sexes as objects, to serve society. The objects that we see men as are ATM machines, sperm donors, and cannon fodder. We tend to see women as, objects of desire, not objects of disposability. But that's oppressive, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to take the next one, Dan?
Oh, dear Lord, I don't know if I can take this. All right, but here we go. We shall try. Our approach is at the prevention level when kids are younger, and getting these messages about body image and sex for the first time in their lives. So I wonder if the biggest villain is more like the average, everyday, respectable school teacher or parent who a child is wanting to model themselves after, who displays behavior objectifying women. But I'm sure that those female school teachers talking about how they want to jump alleged criminal. What was his name? Jeremy whatever, that went viral. The Mr. GQ criminal. That all the girls were saying that he could, rape me anytime. He can break into my house anytime. I'm sure those are showing wonderful, modeled behavior for the young impressionable minds that they or young impressionable charges that they look after on a day-to-day basis. But it's not like David Beckham gets drooled after by teachers. And how about again, lesbian teachers? Do they not drool after women and think of them as objects as well? I'm kind of wondering here. It seems a little biased. Seems a little one way. Calling bigotry, feminism 101.
Yeah, well, here we see their point. Here we see them talk about how they're wanting, our approach is at the prevention level when kids are young and getting these messages about blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they're wanting to brainwash kids into believing that rape culture is real, that all men are rapists and that's all they are. They're feminists. They're from that school of thought that men have to be told on a daily basis, don't rape, because if you miss one day, they're going to rape. Every man is one step from becoming a rapist. That's their school of thought. And we see it here that what their plans, what they're wanting to do, they're wanting to brainwash our children into this. Well, I'll tell you something. I'm a father. I have a daughter. She hasn't started school yet, but she will very soon. And if I find a teacher teaching my daughter this bullshit, there will be hell to pay. I'm going to raise the roof on a fucking schoolhouse. And I don't give a damn who likes it or who doesn't. That's my kid. You don't fuck with my kid. Anyway.
What was it the good Dr. Fred Jones said? That his father said I would go through hellfire for my child?
Exactly. I would go to hell and back for my child and kick the devil in the nuts while I'm there. All right. Because rape culture is everywhere, it's at home with passing comments from roommates. It's on the street where I can't walk without fear of comments or violence. Oh, good God. It's on the internet with anything from posts to Facebook pages to memes. It's literally everywhere. So, in other words, if they don't agree with what you're saying about rape, that's rape culture. You're part of rape culture. You're a part of...
Wait, James. You're raping me here. You're commenting. You're raping. You're raping us here. You're commenting on this. You're critiquing the House of the Sacred Golden Vajayjay teachings and theories.
All right. Danny, what do you think is the biggest villain in rape culture these days, according to these feminists? That's the next one.
Oh, I already know the answer, but let's toss that out to the people in the chat room. Anybody? Bueller, go Going once, going twice. Anybody want to guess what the biggest culprit of rape culture is? All right, we don't seem to have an answer, but according to this this lady here, it's mansplaining. She thinks so. Having men say, "Hey, wait a minute here. We're being pressured into sex. She said that it was fine last night. She's changing her mind. She's lying about it. Her boyfriend found out. Having men express their innocence, and and people insisting that the rule of law and beyond a reasonable doubt apply to all crimes. Having that, having these issues, mansplaining is her biggest obstacle to 100% conviction rate. I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that. It's the whole idea of men having an opinion that doesn't toe the feminist line. If we speak up and say, wait a minute, this whole rape culture thing seems a little off to me. I don't think that's what's actually happened. That's mansplaining. If you speak out against the idea of rape culture, you're part of rape culture. You're part of the problem. See how that works? It's an idea that cannot be challenged. That's the way they want it. Well, I'm sorry, ladies. I am here to challenge it. And so are a lot of other people, men and women alike. So get used to it.
Now, Jack,
anyway.
what's the biggest hero? Conversely, what's the biggest hero, they ask? Does anybody else want to guess on that one? I don't think we're going to get an answer from...
No.
There is a little bit of a lag, but we'll try and fill up the time for a little bit of a lag. So what is the biggest hero, they figure? We're kind of questioning that one. But, Jack, you want to give us the answer?
It's women everywhere who are no longer standing for it. Now, ladies, I want to give you a little insight onto something. There is an overwhelming majority of women out there who are laughing at you because you're so fucking stupid. This idea that we live in a rape culture is stupid, and women get that because women are not as dumb as you think they are. Anyway, Danny, you want to take the next one? I'm getting pissed. I got to say this. Feminist and their misogyny pisses me off. I'm sorry, the misogyny that was within the feminist movement, these women think that women on the whole are that fucking stupid that pisses me off. But go ahead.
Oh, Jack, tell us how you really feel. Don't hold back now, eh?
I'll try.
When asked for one of her favorite or one of your favorite sources, hope, joy, inspiration, commentary, read rape culture, they have the hashtag yes all women. Oh dear God, yes all cats is the only I've got to say to that one. And the patriarchy. It's misogyny, meowsogyny. It's very meowsogynistic. It's the old whisker boys club. It's tabby. It's tabby. It's tabby-oo, this patriarchy.
Yeah, see, they don't get it. When that hashtag first came out, yes, all women are the victims of whatever, right? It was yes, all women have to go through this horrible thing, right? It's against all women, all women, all women. The majority of commenters on Facebook, people are, excuse me, not Facebook, Twitter. I apologize, it's Twitter, because it's a Twitter hashtag, yes, all women. They mocked it. They laughed at it and created this yes, all cats as a joke against this yes, all women, because the majority of people don't buy into that bullshit because it's not true. They live in the real world and they see reality. And they look at this feminist bullshit and just laugh. But what they don't know is that these feminists are working to push this stuff on their children. And that's what's scary. Anyway, go ahead.
The best on the Twitter, the Yes All Women Twitter campaign, the best was watching the women cannibalize them. The feminists cannibalize themselves. My victimhood's bigger, better than yours. My feminism could beat up your feminism. Oh.
That was pretty awesome.
my big sister's gonna beat up your big sister. It was hilarious. I was howling at it. I couldn't believe it. James, can we get a little comment from you there, brother? Anything on the yes all cat hashtag?
Oh no, I thought that was pretty funny, man.
Yeah, and Christina Hoff Sommers even she even piled on the yes all cats hashtag and made a few jokes, and it's because this yes all women thing was so patronizing and so belittling and infantilizing of women. Everyone made a joke about it. It was just so unreal. The level of whining and crying that you were a victim of something you weren't even a victim of. Yeah.
Yes, all women, because the wind blew my hat off today and the atmosphere is the patriarchy. It's above me. It oppresses me.
Yeah. Guys, if you want to check out these people, go to www.peopleagainstrapeculture.org. And they have the first few articles there are spotlight, kind of sort of interviews of some of these people that are starting this organization. And you can read through there, and it's just like, oh my God. And there's a good chance that they're going to get the money that they want because our society doesn't have the ability to say no to women even when they're being dumbasses, such as these women here. So they're probably going to get their money, and I hope they do, because I learned something. They have a charity status here in the United States, which means that all of their financial records, such as how much money each one of these people make from this organization, who donates to them and stuff like that, is all a matter of public record. And you can bet your sweet ass we're going to be watching every step they fucking make.
Well, I guess we're at the end of the show here, Jack. Are we not? We're getting close.
We're getting pretty close.
All right, folks. This is Voice for Men Radio. I don't know whether you do or do not know, but Voice for Men currently has their summer fundraising quarterly going on. A Voice for Men has put on the first international conference in Detroit, and was a huge success. I'd like you to remind you that it is through your donations that A Voice for Men is able to exist. We do not suck on the government teat. We work on our own values. We work on our own merit. If you like the work we do, please hit that donate button over at avoiceformen.com.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to keep a close eye on these people, this PARC group, and we're going to be bringing you updates on their activities. And everyone, thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves and take the red pill.
Dan and Jack hope you have enjoyed this episode of Blue Collar Red Pill. The song The Last Ones by the band Jazar is used under Creative Commons license and has been modified for this show. Please visit antimisandry.com and avoiceformen.com for more information on the men's human rights movement.